Pause for just 3 seconds, because February 2026 wasn't just another celebrity announcement. This was the moment financial analysts stopped typing mid-sentence and marketing directors quietly redrew their forecasts. What if I told you that one man's face in a campaign doesn't just sell products, it actually rewrites quarterly earnings reports? Welcome back to CelebWorldInsight, where we don't traffic in fan fiction or stitch together clips designed to manufacture drama. While other channels chase unverified rumors about who might be dating whom, stories that never carry a single source or confirmation, we stay on a different road entirely. We follow the paper trail, the balance sheets, the market data that doesn't lie. Because here's the thing about Kim Taehyung, V from BTS. His name doesn't just trend online. It moves inventory. It shifts stock prices. It changes how entire industries view the connection between celebrity and consumer behavior. And February 2026 gave us proof so undeniable that even the skeptics had to stop making excuses. Let's start with what happened in the beauty sector, because this is where the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. When TIRTIR unveiled their new campaign imagery, they didn't use flashy effects or overproduced scenarios. They put Taehyung in a striking red leather ensemble against pure black. That's it. No gimmicks, no forced enthusiasm, just presence. Elegance doesn't need to shout. It simply exists in the room. Within weeks of that visual hitting platforms, TIRTIR didn't just see a bump in sales. They captured the Korea winner title at the Elle Beauty Awards 2026 in the K-Beauty Leader division. More significantly, they became the first Korean cushion brand to claim the #1 spot across all beauty categories on Amazon, a marketplace historically dominated by Western giants who've spent decades building their fortresses. 2 separate products broke into the top 100 beauty and color cosmetics list. Their earned media value hit $72.1 million, and in the Lefty Daepenu ranking of top 10 Korean K-beauty brands for 2025, TIRTIR secured second position. Now, you could call this coincidence. You could say the brand would have succeeded anyway, but then you'd have to explain why the exact same pattern repeated across completely different industries. Because when Taehyung appeared for Snow Peak, the aesthetic shifted entirely. Here he was in gray, understated, almost contemplative, blending urban sharpness with an outdoors freedom that felt authentic rather than manufactured. No screaming for attention, just existing in the frame. Snow Peak subsequently claimed the #1 ranking in the outdoor category at the Korea First Brand Awards 2026. Their Q4 revenue climbed 16.8% to 105.2 billion won. Operating profit jumped 42.6% to 23.3 billion won. Global sales rose 70%. These aren't rounding errors. These aren't normal quarterly fluctuations. This is the kind of growth that makes competitors demand to know what marketing agency you hired. Then we look at Japan, a market famous for not importing celebrity influence easily. Japanese consumers have decades of domestic talent. They don't automatically bow to Korean wave momentum. Yet when Yunth launched their campaign starring Taehyung, something unusual happened. The brand's commercial favorability ranking climbed to #1. Their official account confirmed it, top position in the CM favorability ranking. In a country where advertising effectiveness is measured with surgical precision, this validation carries real weight. It means Taehyung's presence translates across language, across cultural reference points, across the usual barriers that stop celebrity power at the border. And then there's the story that sounds like internet exaggeration, but actually happened. During a casual live broadcast, Taehyung mentioned receiving Turkish chocolate as a gift. No sponsorship, no paid placement, no contract, just a genuine moment shared with fans. Within hours, that chocolate brand experienced demand so intense that inventory reportedly vanished in seconds across multiple regions. The company's CEO later admitted that in 20 years operating in Far Eastern markets, they had never witnessed anything comparable. No ad spend, no strategic rollout, just one sentence from someone who wasn't even trying to sell anything. Authenticity moves product faster than any commercial ever could. Why does this keep happening?
Let's look at the psychology underneath it. When Taehyung appears with a product, he triggers three simultaneous responses in the viewer's brain. First, aspiration. This is a globally recognized figure operating at the highest level of cultural relevance. Second, identification. He never seems like he's performing. His demeanor reads as human, unforced, accessible despite the fame. Third, trust. Because his mentions feel spontaneous rather than scripted, the audience receives them as genuine recommendations rather than paid endorsements. In attention economy terms, this combination is essentially nuclear. When aspiration, identification, and trust converge, purchasing behavior shifts from logical consideration to emotional reflex. You don't decide to buy, you simply feel like buying. February 2026 didn't create this phenomenon, it simply confirmed that the phenomenon has now entered a new phase. Taehyung has evolved beyond being merely a cultural symbol or artistic presence. He now functions as an economic accelerator, someone whose image directly translates into quarterly performance metrics that boardrooms actually care about. Think about what this means for how we understand entertainment economy models. For decades, celebrities endorsed products, and maybe sales improved marginally. But what we're witnessing now is different. The artist has become a direct conduit between public emotion and market movement. The distance between seeing and buying has compressed to nearly nothing. In an environment flooded with digital noise, with thousands of influencers all screaming for attention simultaneously, one photograph or one casual remark still manages to cut through and create ripple effects across continents. That's not normal. That's not something marketing textbooks have a chapter on yet. The question hovering over all of this is no longer whether the effect exists. The data has answered that definitively. The more interesting question now is about scale. How far does this actually go? Are we watching the emergence of a new template, one where artistic influence and economic impact become functionally inseparable, where the line between entertainer and economic sector leader blurs to the point of irrelevance? February 2026 suggests we've already crossed that threshold. All that's left to know is how much territory this new model will eventually cover. If you've made it this far, you're someone who doesn't watch content passively. You're the type of viewer who insists on separating verified reality from manufactured sensation. You don't need exaggerated headlines or fabricated drama to stay engaged. You want the actual picture, the numbers, the trends, the verifiable outcomes that don't depend on creative editing. That's what we do here at CelebWorldInsight. We don't twist clips to fit narratives. We don't build stories from assumptions that can't be backed up. We discuss what can be accounted for, documented, and traced back to original sources, because intelligent audiences don't require cheap tricks. Intelligent audiences require truth presented clearly. So here's what we know. One name appearing alongside a product now moves global graphs. One presence shifts how industries measure success. And if February 2026 taught us anything, it's that this effect isn't shrinking, it's expanding. Thank you for watching till the final frame. If content built on facts rather than fiction matters to you, hit the like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to Celeb World Insights so you don't miss the next breakdown. And share this video with someone who needs to understand the difference between manufactured hype and genuine impact. The next major story might already be forming beneath the surface. When it breaks, we'll be here to show you what it actually means. See you in the next one.